Good morning. Happy Thursday. I'm just waiting for my Instagram to go live first before we get started. But we are going to talk about balance today. And I have this like pet peeve about oh, well, it's balance. Like you need to balance. And that word has so many meanings, right? So we're going to discuss what that really means. So good morning. Please say hi. But basically, what we're talking about today is the word balance and how balance can actually sabotage your success. It can sabotage your weight loss. It can sabotage your goals with the idea of balance. And I know people talk about, oh, balance with your nutrition, balance with your workouts, balance life. And absolutely. So I might get a little backlash on this, but let me explain my theory on this. Because balance, to see success in anything, business, health, relationships, you have to nurture that thing. And balance in our head, what we've been taught our whole life, balance is 50-50. But if you give 50-50 to something, then something is not getting enough attention, right? But then we also have to make sure that we are nurturing the other side. So absolutely, we need to nurture both sides. But let's use nutrition in this case, because that's what I focus on is nutrition, mindset, fitness. But we can say balance 50-50, and we're going to use an entire month, 30 days. Not a 31 day, I suck at math, 30 days. If we thought that in 30 days, balance would only be 15 days. Now think about that. That's 2 weeks. Even if you spread that out, or you did 2 weeks hard, eat healthy, do all the things, and then 2 weeks of not, I'm telling you right now, that is not going to work, okay? So the idea of balance is really more like a 70-30, an 80-20, and if you really want to think about it, it's more like a 90-10. Because if we go back to that 30 days, and we said that every weekend, we decided to sabotage. Even if we didn't do it intentionally, but we decided hardcore during the week, right? So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, right? So again, I suck at math, but I can do that, is 20 days. So during the week, you do everything, you eat really clean, and it's super hard, and that's not the idea. And then on the weekends, you're like, well, balance, I party, I drink, screw walking around, screw just forget eating healthy at all. And now you've completely wasted whatever you did during the week, right? You gain it back. Not necessarily you're gaining fat back every time, but you're starting over even with the water retention, the fatigue, just the bloating, just all the things that happen when we go the opposite side. So balance is really about saying hey, it is okay occasionally to drink if that's what you do. If you want to have a piece of cake, but it's 1 or 2. So let's use that weekend math, right? So 20 days during the week, you're healthy, you're doing the things, maybe even pushing too hard. And that's probably why the sabotage is so hardcore during the weekends, is if you can find that evenness, balance during the week, instead of pushing so hard, you wouldn't feel like you're just going to go ballistic on the weekends. But now we have 8 days or 10 days. I don't know how that becomes 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then you have 4 weekends, which is 8. That's 28 days. I don't know. Somewhere along the way, there's more days. But either way, right? We have, let's say, 8 to 10 days where we are not on that balance. So it looks like this, okay? We want it to be even and make it more of that 80-20. And the way to get that is to find balance throughout the entire month rather than pushing really hard and then going ballistic, right? So the idea of this balance is getting a bigger picture. If you realistically can only work out one day a week, is that really realistic, right? Spreading it out, having more consistency, smaller throughout the week, you're going to see more results than if you push really hard for, let's say, the whole week and then nothing on the weekends, or just go, all out on your nutrition or your food and then try to figure that out throughout the week. So I hear this a lot, like, eat the nachos. Okay. I just literally posted. So when we get off, you can see I talked about how we can eat the nachos, right? Balance. But you're not doing that every day. And even if it's something different every day, you're like, well, my balance is I have my nachos or I have my ice cream every night, but then I eat really healthy all day. I'm not willing to give up my ice cream. Well, you don't have to give up your ice cream, but it's how do we crave, or how do we learn how to curb, which last week we talked about 10 tips on how to curb cravings, which is very, 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 very helpful. So if you want to go back to watch that one. But these are the things that we learn in our program, is finding that food freedom so that you're in constant balance. And that constant balance is not the all or nothing of balance. It's finding that balance throughout the entire week so that it's easy and you don't feel like if you have that nachos, it's on a constant basis, right? When we tell ourselves we can't do something, instantly we want to do it, right? Like literally comes from our childhood or just the internal instinct of our mind that's like, no, you can't tell me what to do. That's not balance, because now we're doing it for a different reason. And then because we can't do it and we want to do it because we're told we can't do something, we want to do it more, right? So when you find that balance that's even and not 50-50, but like finding where you can get satiated, where your blood sugar is not, crashing or super high, and you're told you can't have something, is that when you get to the nachos, you're probably not going to eat the entire thing. And I'm using nachos as an instance because my birthday's on Saturday. The one thing that I love more than anything are nachos. That's my one thing that I'm like, not one, but it's like my favorite thing to I'm having my nachos for my birthday, right? Now, but before, when I was in a diet mentality, I couldn't have anything, right? And then all of a sudden I'd have these nachos and I would have literally this volcano, and RIP Margaritaville in Las Vegas. But I used to go to Las Vegas and we used to get this volcano nachos, and I'd eat the whole thing and I wouldn't share it. Like, this is my nachos, it's my birthday. Now I'm like, eat the nachos with me. I have a few bites, okay, more than a few bites, but I have it and I'm completely satisfied. But it's not necessarily balanced because it's not something I'm having 50-50. I'm not doing that on a normal basis. So how is this balanced mindset holding you back? The idea of that balance holding you back is that sometimes we use it as an excuse. Oh, well, this is balance. I want to make sure that, if I have this, do you really need it? Is it serving you? Is it giving you what you need? Sometimes, yeah, I want my nachos. It's okay. I'm going to have it, but I don't need to eat the whole thing anymore. And after I eat that nachos, I keep going because it was once you start, you're like this monster, right? Because you're told you can't have anything. And so that restriction and then the giving so much, it's that 50-50, right? So switching that balanced mindset to, yes, it's okay to have something, but ask yourself why. Is it really going to serve you? Is it going to help you, rather than it saying, well, using it as an excuse? Well, this is balance, right? And I hear that so often from just doesn't matter, people, right? Well, it's balance. Okay, I want you to have balance, but balance is not 50-50. Balance is finding a way to even things out consistently so that you feel good all the time, even if you do choose to have that, even if you do choose to have the nachos, the ice cream, whatever it is, but it's not 50-50. If you have questions with this, please message me. Please let me know if this is something you struggle with, because there's that social aspect. There's that social aspect of, well, when I go out with my friends, I want to have what they're having, right? I want to enjoy the weekends. You can still enjoy the weekends. Again, that balance, but do we have to continuously drink? Do you have to, like, once you drink, what happens to your body? We want more food. We want fattier foods. We get more tired. It slows down our metabolism. Literally, for every ounce of alcohol, it's 12 hours that our body stops burning fat. There's a lot of different things, like think of the liver, just internally. And I'm not shaming anyone. I have alcohol occasionally. It's just the idea of that balance. And so is it balance? Is it an excuse that I'm just using this as balance? If you really need something and you're really having a craving for something, go ahead and have it. But look back and think, why? What is the main cause of this craving? Because cravings can go away. We can balance our hormones. We can balance our blood sugar. We can balance, right, the mindset so that we are not hungry or craving things in a way that is going to self-sabotage us. And that's what I teach my clients, is how to use nutrition, mindset, and fitness to increase our metabolism. We can eat those things, but we understand that we don't have to, and what it does to our bodies, how it feels. And then the more you feel better, the more you want to eat a certain way, and you understand it, and it's more important to you than using it as an excuse. So balance, consistency, not the same thing. Balance, eating whatever you want because you want to even it out because it's balance, is not the same. Right? So how is that balance holding you back? Ask yourself, how often are you using balance as an excuse versus what really serves you and what you really need versus what we think that balance on that other side is? So I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, again, like I mentioned, this is exactly how we work on that mindset to find food freedom. Now, if you've never heard of food freedom is really about being able to go to parties and not have to stress, like, do I eat that? Do I not eat that? Should I not drink? Oh, F it, I'm just gonna do everything today. This will be my day of balance, right? You feel good in your clothes. You're not thinking about how you feel. You're not thinking about what you're eating. You just know what to eat, right? And it feels good to you, and you're enjoying your life. You're going to the parties and you feel good in your clothes and you're doing the things. That is what food freedom is. And most of the time, my clients within a week or two are already noticing that mindset shift, and the weight loss and the metabolism increasing, all the things that like make you feel like you want to continue doing that. And then somewhere along the way, they'll say, like, I don't know, I feel so good, I can't explain it. And there's this like feeling of like not stressing about that I'm enjoying my life more, that I'm focusing on the things that are important to me. And that's balance, right? That is balance, is to go out and have the fun and do the things and not have to think, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Why do I feel like shit? Like, why? You won't feel that way anymore, because that balance looks different than the excuse of balance and having the nachos because you want balance, right? Because we can break those cravings, break those habits, which is incredible. It is the most freeing thing possible. So please message me if this resonates with you. I work with women over 40, and the reason is, the menopause, cortisol. It's just, where I am in my life. I'll be 54 in a few days, which is crazy to me because I have never felt so amazing in my life. And I've been on this journey for 5 years. I kept the weight off. I was a dieter, serial dieter since I was, I don't know, probably 6 years old, which is really pathetic, but I was a gymnast and it was in my head, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. But I got out of it. I get hundreds and hundreds of women out of it as well. And you could be the next one, because dieting is the worst thing that could be in your mind. And I think part of that diet mentality is that balanced mindset, and pushing so hard, that all or nothing, pushing so hard and then saying, well, balance, I'm going to have this, right? Or I deserve this. Those are all part of that mindset. And that's where we shift everything. So if you have questions, please message me. And I'm just going to, so I can message all these people. But I try to get here on Thursday mornings for some type of topic, but we do all kinds of stuff inside my program, with, videos and just ideas of how to break free of this diet mentality, this balanced mindset. And it is not in the dictionary. It is not in any books. I made it up, that balanced mindset. And it just really bothers me, because I know what it feels like to be on both sides. And so with that being said, please reach out to me. I'm doing a 60-day challenge right now, not just myself, but it's open to anyone. If you've already started, awesome, but you can start today. And it's like, I've never done a price like this for 60 days, but you'll get the nutrition, you'll get your workouts. Everything is personalized because everybody is different, and tons of accountability. So I look forward to seeing you next Thursday, or definitely before that, message me. I have about 3 spots open for my one-on-one program, and as many that want to do the 60-day challenge that are ready to get started. It's a great kickstart. So have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. And please leave some messages or comment. And then if you're on Instagram, you'll have to message me, because this will go away on the live, but on Facebook, it will stay there as a video. So I will talk to you later. Namaste.